Hi, I'm Jody Walker at Warm Glass Gallery and Studio, and I'm here with my amazing Sunshine Enamel paint. And as you all know, I love this, and this is what I use in all my work. And since Sunshine Enamels doesn't make an orange that is used for glass and can be fired in the kiln and not burn out, I am going to show you how to mix an orange so that you can use it in your work. The first thing I want to show you is, like bullseye colors in glass, some of their colors strike, right? So paints are the same way. So I wanted to show you this so you wouldn't be surprised when you took your pieces out of the kiln. This is the cardinal red we're going to be using, and this is the color it ends up being, is that red. And this is the mandarin we're going to be using, and look at the difference in the color. It is like brilliant afterwards. And this is the poppy we're going to be using. So this is the poppy right here that's going to be that color. Now, I typically with my paint, what I do is, if I don't know what the color is going to look like afterwards, I always mix test tile. So because the oranges are such unusual colors when they're mixed up, I like to do a test tile so I know if I'm using it in a piece what it will look like when it's done. So I mixed up mandarin poppy, and I call it volume 1, volume 2, volume 3, because lighter, middle, dark. Okay, so if we reveal what it looked like before and then reveal what it looked like after. So this is when I mixed it, and that's what the actual color looks like. So you can see there's a big difference in color. So it's always nice to have a little test tile. And if you put mixture colors in, leave them in a jar, then if you've mixed that color, then you're going to get this final result. So to me, that's always very helpful, especially if you're working on commissions or anything like that. So today, the first color we're going to work on, I'm all excited about. We're going to do this one. We're going to work on this mandarin and poppy, and I'll call it volume 3, which is the darker shade. You can make darker shades, like you can see over here. I've made lots of different shades. So, I'm going to open this up right now, and I'm going to start. I pulled a little bit of this out of my palette. I mixed it up in my jar to make sure that I got all the paint off the jar, so that the bottom of the jar, because with the enamel paints, lots of times they the enamel sifts to the bottom. So because of them sifting to the bottom, you want to make sure you've taken all the paint off the bottom. So this is the color I'm trying to mix. I pulled that out, and that's the color I'm trying to mix. And this is what I want. This is what the color I want it to be when it's finished. Now, what I've already done is I've pre-mixed my poppy and my mandarin. So you can see they're already a beautiful paint consistency. So if you want to see how I mix the colors, just go to our other video, my other video about mixing paints. But so now typically what I do, I think the smartest thing to do is always start with your lightest color and then add your darker color into it. So we're starting with the mandarin, and then I'm just going to change my knife so I don't get my paint dirty and come back later. I'm just going to add that over there, which we will not need that much, I don't think. But anyway, so I'm going to start with the mandarin, and then I like to drag some of the other color into it and then start mixing it. So remember, this is the color we're shooting for, so we're going to try and make that. So and looks like I've got it already almost. What? That would never happen in real life. Only happens on a video. So that's really pretty close. Looks like it needs just a hint. Looks like it needs to be just a hint darker, don't you think? A tidge darker. I'm just going to add a little bit more. If you chose to start mixing with your dark color instead of your light color, you'll use up all your light color trying to make the dark color lighter. Does that make sense? So it's always smarter to mix your darks into your light like that. I think we could go just a tidge darker than that. And because it's already mixed up, again, we used our A14 and our Sunshine Enamels paints, but because they're, I already mixed them up, they're this beautiful quality already. I love that with our paints, you can mix reds with anything. Okay, I think that's it, guys. I think that's the same color. So remember, what we were going for was shooting for this color. It's the same as, I just love mixing paint. It's fun. It's the same color as that. And remember, it's going to show up to end up being this. I know, what? It's shocking, isn't it? Okay, so we're all finished, and remember, I always suggest mixing the paints and putting them in a container, especially when it's like oranges, colors that you don't use all the time, and they look so different than the finished product. So I remember, mix the paints. I always put them in a container with a lid, and then I usually Velcro the color to the top of the lid so that I always know what color I'm going to end up with. I just love mixing paints. Hope you enjoy, and I've got to go paint now.
Please like our videos and subscribe below.